What's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first Invest or Stay Basic video. Today we'll be covering the stock market news segment. The intent of this segment is to provide key market news over the past couple of days in an easy to understand and, of course, entertaining fashion. This way, you don't got to read all those boring articles. Pretty awesome, right? I mean, let's face it, there are hundreds of headlines every day. I'm just going to pick out the ones that I believe are important and dive into them a bit. If you enjoyed this segment, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Today, we are going to take a look at some news affecting large companies such as McDonald's, Beyond Meat, Walmart, GM, Spotify, and a company I like to poke a lot of fun at, Nikola. So let's get started with McDonald's. So on Monday, McDonald's unveiled a McPlant line, which includes meatless patties co-created by Beyond Meat. The plant line, they're calling it McPlant. So for anyone that has ever been to McDonald's, they don't really have vegetarian burgers. KFC does, Burger King does. So it looks like McDonald's is trying to enter that market. It's really interesting to note, though, that the former CEO of McDonald's, Don Thompson, he's actually an early investor in Beyond Meat and sits on the plant-based meat makers board. So that's pretty interesting. So how will this affect sales? You know, like as investors, that's really what we all care about. So let's just take a look at how McDonald's has been doing during this pandemic. When we look at the Q3 filings for McDonald's, we see that they have three revenue streams: sales by company-operated restaurants and revenues from franchise restaurants. Obviously, introducing a McPlant line will affect both of these revenue streams. How much? No one can say for sure, as McDonald's hasn't released too much information on where they're going to release the McPlant line first. The CEO basically said that they'll release it where there's demand. So personally, I think there's a huge demand in North America, but it'd be interesting to see when and where they release it in North America. Analysts have already got a head start on estimating what their sales growth will be, and they're predicting mid-single digits. So I guess that's around like 5 to 7% in 2021 and 2022, which sounds really impressive until we take a look at the sales figures for McDonald's recently. Yeah, so that red arrow trend line is not good. It's been trending down the past 3 quarters, but of course we got this crazy pandemic going on. So how's it been doing the last, couple of years? Not so good either. It's been trending down, obviously not as steep, but you never like to see sales go down. The one good thing that I do see here is the earnings seem to be growing every year. So that's interesting. Currently, McDonald's sits at $213 a share. If you guys would like me to do a company analysis on McDonald's, I'd absolutely love to. I'm super interested in finding out what McDonald's is worth today. Just drop a comment below and I'll definitely put out a video on that. So was that the only news for McDonald's and Beyond Meat this week? No. That's the only news for McDonald's, but there's actually more news for Beyond Meat. So Beyond Meat's been in the news quite a bit, and it's all good stuff. They're in the news for another reason, and that is because of their partnership with Pizza Hut. So basically, Pizza Hut agreed to launch a plant-based sausage topping on their pizzas, and of course that plant-based sausage topping is provided by Beyond Meat. There's some really interesting things said here. One by the CEO of Beyond Meat. He said, "We really wanted to build something that was unique in the market. A lot of people can make a crumble out of protein these days, but this is something special because we took the time with Pizza Hut to get it right." I think that's pretty interesting because, yeah, when I think Beyond Meat sausage topping, I just think it's just some crumbs of some crap. But it's interesting to note that at least they took the time to actually perfect it. Also, another interesting, I'm saying interesting a lot, but something else that was, I can't even think of another word instead of interesting, but something else that was said was by Pizza Hut's chief brand officer. And what he said is, what we learned from that test is that there's a lot of people out there who really want plant-based meat, and there's a huge appetite for this product. And the test he's referring to is they did a test in one of their restaurants using a plant-based meat product provided by Kellogg. And yeah, don't get me started. How does Kellogg get to even make plant-based meat? I don't know. But yeah, it sounds like there's some interesting things going on here, and that Beyond Meat could be growing quicker than we thought. I won't get too much into the revenues and earnings and balance sheet for Beyond Meat, but if you guys want me to do a company analysis on Beyond Meat, same thing as McDonald's, I'd be super excited to. It's a company I've been really wanting to invest in for a while, just haven't made the time to look at it. So if you guys drop a comment for Beyond Meat, I'll do that, and we can look at its fair value today. So with all that great news about Beyond Meat, what happened? The stock dropped about 18%. It's trading today after hours at $123.61. Reason being is that I think Beyond Meat investors didn't get that confidence from the McDonald's CEO that they'd be using Beyond Meat for their McPlant line around the world. So they're kind of looking for that confidence buy-in, and also their last quarter earnings weren't to spec. I can get into that more if you guys want to see a company analysis. All right, let's jump into the other headlines. So our next headline comes from Walmart. Walmart said it'll kick off a pilot with Cruise, a General Motors subsidiary, to better understand how driverless cars could be used for deliveries. So as you guys probably know, Walmart introduced Walmart Plus this year, trying to compete with Amazon Prime on, delivering groceries and stuff like that. So this is super interesting because, first of all, driverless cars in general is just awesome. And then you have the battle between Walmart and Amazon for grocery and essential deliveries. So I think that's going to be something to look forward to over the next couple of years. Before you go and jump and buy some GM shares, one thing I want to note is it's testing deliveries, right? And Walmart has, testing underway with 6 autonomous vehicle companies today, including Cruise. There's Ford, there's Alphabet, there's Waymo, and they also have some drone delivery testing going on as well. So let's not get too trigger happy and pull the trigger and buy some GM stock based on this. This is just testing. But the concept is really cool, and I think it'll benefit Walmart quite a bit if they can nail it down. Do you guys own Walmart or GM shares today? Let me know in the comments below. And also let me know why. It's always interesting to see other investors' reasoning on why they own certain companies. And like the other two companies mentioned in this video so far, McDonald's and Beyond Meat, if you guys want me to do a company analysis on either Walmart or General Motors, GM, I would happily do that. Let me know in the comments below and I can put out a video for you guys. All right, so this next one has to do with Spotify, and they've made another acquisition. They have bought the podcast ad company called Megaphone for $235 million, and they've been on a tear. They got Joe Rogan, Kim K, Michelle Obama, and they've also bought companies like The Ringer and Gimlet Media. So they've been spending, and hopefully that helps their company, drive revenue and of course help investors make some more money. So what does Spotify plan to do with Megaphone? Well, they said that as soon as the deal is done, they're going to make a streaming ad insertion tool available to all podcast publishers using Megaphone technology. And basically, they'll be able to insert, targetable ads and make sure that they're effective and interactive. So this is this is dope news for me. As you guys know, I have my podcast, Hustle or Stay Basic, available on Spotify. Shameless plug, but whatever, you guys are here and you're listening to the news, so might as well give you that plug as well. So I can actually do a video on that and give you guys feedback on how that works. If you'd like, let me know in the comments below. And of course, like everything else, if you guys want me to analyze Spotify, I can do that and put out a video. Let me know. All right, and lastly, we got Nikola. This is not a big company. I just I just have a lot of friends that invested in this company, buying into the hype, and I saw it right from the start. I thought it was just pure FOMO, and it just keeps on getting worse for Nikola as the Department of Justice sent grand jury subpoenas to Trevor Milton, Nikola's founder. So that's a big deal because they're pretty much saying, they want to do some more investigations on how the company is ran, and of course this is all stemmed from that short seller report. If you guys remember, there was a Hindenburg short seller report that accused Trevor Milton of making false statements about Nikola technology. They even said that Nikola was, intricate fraud built on dozens of lies. So I think Trevor Milton has it coming, and I feel bad for all the investors. I just don't see the stock going up or rebounding to its all-time highs, which it should have never been at. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. Hope you guys are all caught up with the news now. If you got value out of this video and just enjoyed it, give it a like. Hope you subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you guys next time for this segment of Invest or Stay Basic.